Mid Wordle sentence, never come back.
I think we're live again.
Amazing. No communication either. Like people on the Discord.
Let us know in
asking,
chat. You guys can hear us again, right?
There we go. It looks like it's back on, but Gio's gone. Oh my god.
He went to get a beer in the downtime. Sorry for
Another
that.
Amsdale.
There. I have no idea. I have no idea what happened. I've never seen.
So anyway, the article said it hit this sweet spot in so many ways, right? One is like how clever you feel. One is the social aspect. They made it really easy to share your guesses without giving away the answer, right? And then I think it hit our sweet spot too because it was like very low commitment. Like it was just one, you could spend 5 to 10 minutes a day probably or less, and just post it. So it's a sweet spot in a lot of ways. Fun little game. It was cool.
I got into a great rhythm. So the way my workday typically goes is I have kind of first morning meeting, which happens like right when I get there because I don't get there until I have to be there. And then after that, I have just a little bit of a lull. That's the perfect time to like play a game, kind of get acclimated, check email, that kind of stuff. And just locked into that every morning. I got my wife doing it. She loves it. I got some other people in the office doing it. They love it. I mean, it's like you said, it's the perfect investment. And I love that there is one per day.
Yeah,
and
that was the other
literally nothing else you can do after you solve it.
Yeah,
it's like,
you
wow,
can't
see you
binge
tomorrow. No,
That was my impulse too. Initially, I was like, "Oh, this was really fun! Like, I want to go practice some more of these." And I found like one site that allowed you to do like yesterdays as well, but that was it. So that was that lasted me the first day, and then I kind of really embraced that scarcity. It's like, all right, I'm gonna fully commit for 5 to 10 minutes, and then and be done. It was cool.
We even like our 7-year-old who's she's doing great on her spelling tests at school and is kind of into that stuff, getting better at reading and all of that. And she asked about it, and so we were like playing it with her, and she was giving suggestions on the words. Like it's very obviously and there's no barrier to entry, right? If you can think of some 5-letter words, you're good to go. But it also isn't easy, right? It makes you. It's a little bit painful the first few guesses unless you get super lucky.
It makes you think, but then after a couple guesses, you can get it. Like you can, you can always get it unless you give up. Like a couple times I kind of rage guessed where I could have spent a little more time with it, and I just rage guessed just because I wanted to be done with it.
Yeah.
But it's like Sudoku. I think I said this on the Discord. It's kind of like Sudoku where you can kind of brute force it at a certain point where it's like, all right, I'm just going to start going through every combination and find what it has to be by process of elimination. Which is another, proven game,
I'm scrolling through the challenge participation Discord, and it goes back forever. Like we had so much participation.
Yeah, it was fun.
Higgs introduced it to Dordle, like the derivative.
I didn't play that at all.
Or the evolution of Wordle. It's basically just 2 Wordles kind of at the same time. You get like 10 spaces, and so you work on the first word, but you also start gathering information on the second word as your first word guesses go through.
Whoa.
So it was cool.
I really like that there are like 2 bars to clear on it. Like the easy bar is like get it in 6 guesses,
right?
But the competitive bar is like I want to know that I did it one better than somebody else. Like the days that you beat everybody are just like. Like posting that, like I had two that I got in 2, and it was just like posting those. It was just like, oh god, I hope that everybody sees this and is mad about it. Like it felt awesome. And then all the other days, like when I was losing, it'd be like, damn it, like I can't believe Perrick beat me again.
My first one was a 2 guess win. I remember that. It was like
that was wild.
There were times where I was like cutting it close. And I think the interesting thing about the puzzle and the way it plays out is that you get closer, at least this is my experience, you get closer to missing it when it's a more common word that has a lot of, so it shares 4 out of 5 letters in common with many other words. So you like scroll through potential words it could be, and you run out of chances to do that very quickly. Versus a really obscure word, you go through the common letters pretty quickly, and then it kind of makes itself. It's like the only one it could be at some point. You know, if you know the basic rules of spelling and how a word is constructed, etc.
Yeah, we all had a very similar shape a couple days ago with the fight, might, light.
Yeah.
Like everybody had all four left, and we're just guessing each one.
Right. Exactly.
Chad, you really nailed moist today, though. I'll tell you that.
Oh, I crushed moist. I was like, oh, not this one. And there it was. And I had seen, so I got it in 2 today as well. So I saw Geo got it in 2. And I don't know, I immediately judged Geo for guessing moist on his second one. Like, what a creep. It's just weird. Why would you guess that on your second one, even though I just had?
I just like, did you guys use, so I know that there's like strategy for best possible, like there's data behind the best possible starting word. And I purposely didn't read any of that stuff, but I did find myself using like similar strategies. Like I used the same word most days. I used strep, and it was like just because of trying to get as many Wheel of Fortune letters out as possible. And then I would almost always switch to another double vowel word to like knock out the other vowels.
I started
anybody else?
Who posted the article?
I took mine from I think the only article I read on this, because after it, I kind of wished I hadn't. It ruined a little bit of just the kind of freshness, I don't know, freshness of the game for me. So then from that point on, I always started with adieu, A-D-I-E-U, to get as many of the vowels sorted out as possible. The only one was O that I'd have to throw in with. Oftentimes it'd be like sport or something, you know, so I could get the other Jeopardy letters.
Does anybody remember the word? So Chad, I think you posted that. Yeah, Chad, you posted this article, and in the Discord, it had a like a banner image for the article, and the correct word was drink, and the second word was brick. I wish I remembered what the puzzle was the day after, because it was like, it might have been brick. Like, really? It was super close to the thumbnail image of that article you sent.
I remember that too. Or drink or something. Or
drink is what it was. Like, well, the article was spike to brick to drink, and ours was like super close to that. Can't remember what it was. Minnick maybe remembers.
Well, it was. I mean, it's been bought by the New York Times now, right? Someone posted that out, so it will continue to be presented.
Like a fun little piece of it for me as well, that it was like so bare bones, so stripped down on that website too. Like no ad, no, sign up to share with your friends. It was just very minimalist. I think also added to its appeal.
No pop-up ads and
and what people think is going to change now that it's owned by the New Yorker.
Yeah. Well, so does that mean it won't be presented on the original site any longer? Or I wonder if they cut some kind of deal where
I'm going to stop playing.
Can keep hosting it.
I'm not going to keep playing.
Yeah, I'm honestly kind of over it as well.
Really?
2 weeks is like maybe the right amount of time for me too. Like I always played it like when coffee was brewing and my kids were eating their breakfast. I have like a 5-minute window of like I can kind of do anything, and I would always just play it then. So maybe I'll do that, but yeah, 2 weeks is perfect, I think.
It was so nice I thought the best part of the game was having your keyboard to look at. Like, if you were doing this not on your phone or something, and you'd have to think of the letters in your head or whatever. But I mean, I was just like staring at my keyboard constantly, eliminating
the graphical keyboard.
Yeah. Like, the QWERTY keyboard on my phone, just, eliminating portions that can't happen and whatever. It was so nice. It was a really nice tool.
Did you guys see the story that had like how it was created? Did you guys read about that?
We talked about that last time.
Oh, did we?
When you were introducing it.
Yeah, a guy created it for his girlfriend or fiance or wife.
Yeah.
Who was like into word games, and he wanted to create one for her, so he made this game and just like totally took off. And I think the New York Times paid something in the low 7 figures for it. So I mean,
7?
that's like
no.
Yeah.
6.
No, I think it was 7. I think it was over
7.
Yeah, they paid millions for it. I mean, it's a game that's think of the reach you have with this. I mean, it's like as viral as viral can be.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's like
the guy is also
the
creator is also an ultimate frisbee player.
Very interesting.
Oh, that makes so much sense now.
See, I know. I knew you guys would run with this. It totally makes sense.
Simple.
Yep.
It doesn't last very long.
Fun.
And it's very quick to sell out.
Can be played with dogs. All those things.
Yeah.
It's really the best.
You lost me on that one.
What, the dogs?
It makes me want to kind of try to get back into crossword puzzles a little bit. I think I have this kind of imagined, I don't know, heaven where I get to wake up,
that's what we
drink
should
a
do.
cup of coffee, and do a crossword puzzle with a pencil in the newspaper. You know, like that sounds really great.
We should do a crossword puzzle together on the podcast.
That's a good idea.
That's a great riddle-based cooperative.
I'm interested in this.
And I'll just brew a cup of coffee. It'll be even better.
Because I think they have like
buddies.
You know, you can do all the old New York Times crosswords, but we really only would need like a 8-word thing or something and play it for 10 or 15 minutes. And between the 4 of us, we'd probably have some fun.
4 of us on the board. Plus chat.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
This is it. That's what we need, man.
Grooving hard. I have one of those frisbee courses near my house.
What was the... He said
exactly.
So Groovin, there's 2 types of frisbee. There's ultimate frisbee, which is like this weird like soccer /
most people call it
razzle weird thing, and then there's also disc golf. So
which is totally
you should look into those. You should look into both of those. Disc golf, I think, is the one you're talking about, Groovin.
I think. I know you guys don't follow any of this, but pro disc golf is going nuts. They've been saying that for 20 years. These companies are signing the professional disc golf players are making millions of dollars.
And what are there, 2
sponsored disc golf players? No, it's like the top 50 people in the world are all sponsored by big people and are making tens to millions of dollars per year.
Do you think that's a COVID effect? That people are doing something that's free? I mean, you got to buy the discs, but you don't have to pay a fee each time you go, and it's outdoors, and you don't have to wear a mask.
What we know, though, is these player contracts are fungible. They can replace any player
before we move on from Wordle, though, you did, I think, propose a scoring mechanism, right, Gio? I think you said that just the most played, thinking that, you know, not everyone was going to play every single one, which I guess one of us didn't play every single one.
So this is a 3-way tie. 3-way tie for first. And then in dead last, 5th place
on the year
is Mitch.
Mm-hmm. Classic, like, had a busy Sunday, like, just didn't do it. Just kept seeing it come across the Discord. Part of it probably too for me was that I did it on my PC. I did it on my computer, and so every time I saw it that day, we were either out and about or I was away from the computer, couldn't get away, so missed one day.
The phone interface is brilliant.
Fine.
Right, but once I started on the computer, you know, your stats are kept on the browser. I wanted to stick with the browser. I was like, I'll get to the computer later. Classic.
Makes sense. Makes sense.
Classic.
I mean, the logic is not there, but I can understand what happened.
It's the logic is there.
It's right in the brim of his hat.
All right. Well, good job, guys, and good job, listeners. That was really
a
really good one.
We had Melon,
way better than that
we had
juice cleanse.
Beta, we had Tim,
about.
We had Higgs.
The Weavers, Higgs, Kojak, Minnick.
Kojak, I didn't see any playing from him. He was in the chat though.
Oh, really?
Playing a lot. I don't think I saw any Kojak scores.
Way
Minnick was
better
in there.
things to be doing. He has an entire NFT community to run these days.
That's actually very true.
Yeah.
We had some good jokes from
He's
some
at the
of the
top
articles.
of the pyramid scheme.
We had great gifts. It was just a great challenge thread all around.
Is he going to give us a portion of his NFT winnings because we basically pushed him into it?
I have two NFTs.
You have 2 NFTs.
Two doodles.
Discord.
Well, you have 2 doodles in the future when the public launch meets some some threshold
magical
that they are saying.
It'll automatically happen at 2% of public's minting because their devs are awesome. They have the most incredible devs.
Happen.
Did you read their quote unquote white paper? You guys know what actual white papers are, right? Like from the business world.
Yeah.
I did not. So
all these crypto projects have quote unquote white papers that just say it's funny. It's funny. We don't want to get into. We did NFTs last time, but I've even learned more in the last 2 weeks and have more takes.
Have you become more skeptical or more interested?
Much more skeptical, and I think that I mean, I was not like a crypto guy or an NFT guy to begin with. But my eyes were definitely opened. With some of
Is that true? Not a single public gobble has been sold? Turkey?
Correct. Like no one's paid money for one yet.
And we need 2% of the entire...
Of the 10,000. Yeah. So they gotta sell 100 of them.
So you're telling me this is all an elaborate scheme for gas money?
Yes. But yes, well, I don't think it's for gas money though, right? Be like the leaders of this project don't make money off gas. They make money when people actually pay for it.
But when Jay-Z buys the one, I'm not going to be allowed on the yacht, is what I remember.
Yeah, but Chad, you can't win if you don't play.
Exactly a pyramid scheme.
You can't win if you don't play.
Great chat. Great chat.
It really is.
I love it.
How about? Sorry, we don't want to belabor this, I guess. But were you following in the everybody show off your turkeys chat, and everybody's showing these NFTs they got, and one guy sent a screenshot of his inventory, and he got a golden one, which is like a 1 out of 1, completely unique thing, like super valuable. And then Minnick had the exact same serial numbered turkey, which was not a gold one, and he was like, mine isn't gold and it's the same one. And then all of a sudden the guy's gold one turned back into a regular one.
Yeah, it was the classic. I mean, I think someone sent that documentary or that guy explaining it, where it's like the classic. The actual image is not on the blockchain.
Right.
What's on the blockchain is essentially a web address, right? And whatever's at the end of that web address, whatever's at the end of that link, that's what it is. And so that gold one showed up as a mistake because it was like the thumbnail for this whole project in general, and so they fixed it.
Gobblegate.
So it's like, yeah, Gobblegate.
But I was reading it, and my brain just went to these conspiracy theory. Oh man, that guy got a good one, and they didn't want anybody to have that one yet, so they, rolled it back, and it was like. Whatever. It was just imperfect.
Nothing to see here.
Which is not exactly what you want to see on a blockchain-based NFT. You don't want to see glitches, even if they're harmless.
I get it. There should be some skepticism about NFTs, but it's a little bit unfair to base all of our decisions on these turkeys.
Right. Mm-hmm. Well, yes. So there's this progression, right? Like NFTs, I feel like when I first heard of it, it's artists that are selling their art online, and it's just like buying their art from a art show, right? And it's an artist that you want that art and you want to be the owner of it. And of course, someone could take a picture of the picture that's behind Geo right now in stream, right? Some artist, some photographer took that. Some photographer took that or painted it or whatever. I could take a picture of that and use it, but it's cool that Geo has that print or whatever, right? I thought that's what NFTs were, right? Like a piece of art, but
they could be.
But and it could be, and there are still things like that. But the culture that we've been immersed in for the last 2 weeks on these turkeys is this procedurally generated, just pure scarcity thing. Which is
it's hype.
Which is interesting in and of itself. But this Bored Ape Yacht Club, being a member of that group, I think the cheapest one right now is $200,000 or something to be in that club. So it's wild and it's bubbly and there's tons of of these derivative entrants, it's definitely a greater fool thing. Go to the Discord and and watch a few of the things. Minnick posted another good one today. There's like a 2-hour long one that I posted, I think, about kind of what the deal is with these. And I think the best to wrap it up, and then I'll get off of NFTs, but I think we were talking about them at the investment club meeting. One of the investment club guys explained it in a very interesting way that like blockchain is still going to be valuable for something, and being able to prove ownership of a digital asset is still, there's a use case somewhere, but it's probably not for these really low transaction NFTs, right? These $30 to $100 things. It's just too expensive with gas and with the use case is not there, especially for these ones that are just trash, procedurally generated 10,000 turkeys.
Right.
So
there was what this reminded me of is this pod. Oh, fuck! I should not have said anything because now it's all escaping me.
Let more of it escape.
Revisionist history podcast. Who does that? Malcolm Gladwell. God, it's all flooding back now.
There you go. Let it out.
There's one episode, it might be even like a 3-parter, where he talks about museums and what
Grooven just loves JPEGs, he says. Just loves them. He's a big JPEG guy. He has been his whole life. I can attest.
So Malcolm Gladwell talks about this idea of hoarding, like the dragon in whatever was it, Lord of the Rings or something?
Smaug.
The Hobbit, Smaug, whatever, who just sits on his pile of gold just to have it, right? Not to spend it, not to show it to people, and then how museums kind of do this same thing, and it's this weird psychological thing that we want that drives the scarcity value, right? We're like, we want to be the one that owns the thing, but for what reason? Who fucking knows, right? Maybe because there's this feeling that makes you feel more special than your neighbor, or something more powerful, and it's just not. It's something that doesn't like sit well with me. It doesn't feel like a good thing about humanity, and this just like augments that. It just puts an exclamation point on it, and then you add to it like all of the concerns about global energy expenditure, mining these things, which is clearly a bad thing. And then the other point that really bothered me when brought up in this documentary was about how we could just monetize literally every part of our life, everything we do, because the weird thing about NFTs is anything could be an NFT, right? We've settled into JPEGs because it's an easy thing to create and see and talk about, but it could be an audio recording, it could be I don't know, literally anything you could assign a value to and a specific identifier and place it on the blockchain, and now you've got the only one of that thing, but it's all this just kind of like consumerist hoarding. It's so, I just don't like any of it. It just
but it's like maybe we don't want to get into this, but that's forever. It's been that way literally forever.
Right. Well, yeah. I mean, last episode I talked about how this was baseball cards, and I couldn't find why this wasn't like baseball cards. And I had a lot of deep thoughts about that I can't remember now. But I mean, I found some reason that it's not like baseball cards. Right?
But just this idea that there are rare resources or things that have value that far outpaces their actual value is like as a tale as old as time, as
greater
they say.
Fool. It's the greater fool, right? And so maybe somebody buys these turkeys and with the idea that they're going to sell them for twice the price.
What good have those things ever added to the world? These overly commoditized greater fool items. I just I just don't like.
The economy is not built to make the world
defining your own value and
exactly.
The tulip craze in the Netherlands in 1498.
Yeah,
or whenever it was, like tulips weren't providing value.
I know,
but
what a fucking waste, though. Like that's like we can. I get that this is opinion based, and you guys can have your own and whatever, but I don't know, man. I can make a much easier value argument for so many other things that I put my money into than some random fucking JPEG that someone made on the internet that is worthless to me, aside from trying to swindle someone else into buying it for more money than I paid for it. I mean, the whole thing is just a con. It just feels like a con, right?
Well, yeah, there are a million of them though, and you're picking on this one. Like, there are a million things that people overpay for. That it's just
there's not a million things
to tell people what they should value and at what level. It's just not up to us.
I just bet we could walk around with you for a day, Chad, and just like rip apart your personal life of all the things you buy that have like you pay more for than they're actually worth, that have like an inherent value to you that's more, that is,
especially if I'm allowed to put my own value price on it.
But that's half of it, because that's where you can argue, well, it was worth that to me because I paid that for it. But if I'm doing that with the intent of trying to trick somebody else into buying it for even more, that's different. That's where it starts to feel gross to me.
Yeah, speculation. I mean, where you're only buying something because you think, what, I don't know, Mitch, say your phrase again that it hasn't quite hit home yet. Greater fool? Is that what it is?
The greater fool. Right. Yeah. Right.
Yeah,
greater fool.
Speculative investment. That's just what it is. So you don't like speculative investments where the only benefit to it is hoping that you can sell it to somebody else for more money because the value structure is so skewed.
Well, I want to draw a line between speculating on something, because we talked about this in the chat where Kojak was like, well, that's just the stock market, is you're speculating that a stock is going to go up, but there's something that stock is tied to. It's gone up because they've
there are speculative stocks that don't have
values. They're bringing something, the company, right? Typically here, this is something where the value only goes up because you tricked someone into paying more for
it. But I would say on the spectrum of stocks, though, I mean, if you're talking about blue chip stocks, they're not very speculative. But if you go down to penny stocks, a lot of that stuff is probably manipulated by somebody getting a news article. I don't own any
penny stocks, though. So I don't think we can, it's like a false equivalency, right?
No, it's not. It's showing you that there's a spectrum of speculative. Just because NFTs seem more speculative than stocks, I would say compare NFTs to a penny stock who can move 500% off of an article in a local newspaper or something that is not really affecting the value. It's being manipulated. It's like easily manipulated. That's what
like when the GameStop stuff happened, right? That was not based on GameStop's like actual earnings or anything. It was because a bunch of people decided to pump it, right? That's what all these people are trying to. That's what every one of these derivative NFT things is trying to do. That's what Turkey Doodles is trying to do. They're trying to hit the pump. They're trying to pump it, and
the GameStop. So, and I bought into and made money off of the GameStop. So I think that's a good example. For me, though, there was an added value to that, which was But
hold on, you bought GameStop because you thought they had good fundamentals and they were delivering good products to their customers?
No. I bought let me finish my sentence. I bought GameStop because it was, I don't remember but it was overshorted by some big finance company. It was a way to stick it to the man that's been cheating the rules forever and making money off of it. That's valuable to me because fuck those guys.
Yeah, but your assignment of value to GameStop had nothing to do with GameStop then.
No, but it felt, to me, it felt more moral, I guess, is what it came down to. Was this is someone that's been leeching off the system for a long time simply because they have the money and the power to do so, and we caught them with their pants down, so let's take some money and run. That was the theory behind GameStop, right? There's none of that here. I think
that's where your dissonance is where this like NFTs is totally stripped down of any story of value to anyone who looks at it for real, right? Like these communities themselves will say it's valuable to be part of the community, but it's really stripped down to just the pure psychological greater fool. There's no story with it, because like even Tesla, right? You could argue if you buy Tesla stock right now, it doesn't have anything to do with their fundamental value. It has, you think it's going to go up, right? You think that there's going to be more hype and it's going to go up. That's much more tantamount to NFTs than IBM or whatever that pays a dividend. And so I think stripping everything away from it, right? Any physical anything, it's just totally almost like this psychological human concept, like you were saying, of greater fool. At least on these procedurally generated ones, the ones that are art, the ones that that companies release, have a little bit of that story, a little bit of that, There might be some value here that's actually intrinsic, but these like these turkeys, there's just none of that.
Yeah, I think yeah.
But have you seen the Viking horn turkey? I mean,
I got one that's
rainbow
puking a rainbow.
Oh,
that's allegedly, I think, a little bit rare.
Yeah,
we'll see when the rest of them get minted.
I looked at Grubenhardt's collection, and he's got some duties. He's got nothing. All that time and hype. Gruben, what's your highest rarity?
He's gonna get like 8 when this public sale happens. He gets like 8 free. Like he won the Twitter challenge. He won a bunch of Royal Rumbles.
Yeah, he'll be laughing.
He's gonna be turkey rich.
Yeah. You guys remember this Pharma Bro dude that got in big trouble, and he had allegedly purchased the one copy of this otherwise unreleased Wu-Tang Clan album?
Yeah, Martin Shkreli or something like that.
Yeah, that dude. And everybody was up in arms because, like, fuck you for not releasing this for everybody else to hear. It's like the perfect hoarding story because he's drunk on power. That seems like something, if that existed in the digital world, where it was like this band that has value to a lot of people created this thing that nobody could hear. It was just this one copy. That seems like the perfect NFT. That's got intrinsic value and in a digital form should be identified as this is the one. Because it could probably be copied and maybe subsequent versions, the quality would be lower. But again, that's starting with some sort of value versus trying to trick people into it. That's the thing. It just comes down to, for me, like making up some bullshit about why it's valuable. Someone else thinks it's valuable, and then chuckling as you walk away having made money knowing that it's not valuable. Right? Like that's the part that just feels like it's just a fucking con. That's all it is.
Yeah. I can't wait to have a few too many drinks, preferably tequila or mezcal, and then have this conversation.
And then argue. That's fine. I think I've kind of said my piece. You guys understand my position. I'm very interested to hear how you rationalize your position. So, I know Perik's tried to take kind of like from a pure economic standpoint. I get that.
I'm just saying you make investments that you think are valuable, and you hate investments that you don't think are valuable. And that's the name of the game.
That's oversimplification, man.
Right.
I mean,
no.
I was trying to oversimplify it, I guess.
Yeah, well, it's not fair. Then. I mean, that's what I'm saying.
Well, I mean, that's what we'll argue about, I guess. I mean, you apply a, arguable moral value to the GameStop investment, right? Your moral value, not arguable, yours. And that was pure speculation, not even fully understanding the mechanics of. It wasn't a guaranteed mechanic. It's not like you were guaranteed to make money. It was a speculative investment that you based on a value decision where you wanted to stick it to the man.
Hey, what if Sergeant Gobbler, who runs this whole NFT scheme, has someone sick in his family and he's to pay for
terminal cancer.
So he's doing a cash grab because he needs to pay for his daughter's surgery.
I'd rather just donate to his daughter's surgery than try to make money off of his shitty situation. But you could wrap a story into that, I guess. Yeah. I mean, you could say, well, if I sell it to somebody more, then that's
just what Perik's getting at, right? Is that people make decisions based on moral, values that they hold, and I am honestly, I'm
you have a perfectly valid
I'm more on
point
your
of view.
side here, Chad, where it's like this is a slimy, weird pyramid greater fool scheme, and is like not good for society.
We were talking about raising money, and he says, "Nah, he's a gifted 12-year-old." That very well may be. I wonder if they've made any money because, with such amazing devs, those devs don't come free,
Well, we were going to talk about Mitch's PC, but I feel like we just riffed on NFTs.
I want to hear a little bit about Mitch's PC. I really do.
Yeah, I do too. I want to hear about, because I have like a mild interest in this, but I think my interest is waning hearing just the boilerplate.
I can keep it pretty quick, right? So at the very beginning of the pandemic, my kid was in kindergarten. He broke our all-in-one monitor computer. I bought another computer, optimized it for Lightroom, and then as the pandemic wore on, like kind of wanted to get back into gaming. I've never been like a huge gamer, but I remember I remember looking up like, you know what? I'm sitting at home. I'm doing nothing. I've gone through Netflix. I'm gonna get back into gaming. What's the best game to get in 2020? And it was The Witcher. And so I downloaded it without thinking, brought The Witcher up, and it immediately crashed my computer because you can't just do that with a shitty computer that was optimized for Lightroom.
That's a great game, by the way. Was it The Witcher 3?
I think whatever was like the most popular game of 2020. Like my new computer that I bought could not handle it, and so that was the bug. So I ended up getting Civ 5. Civ 6 was the I couldn't run, but I looked up like best games to get for a crappy computer, right? And Civ 5 and Minecraft came up, and so I spent a ton of time in 2020 playing Civ 5. Then I bought Minecraft for my son, and he got into that in 2021. I got very into that as well, and we played a few times Minecraft where he was on that computer and I was on my laptop that I stream on, and my laptop is absolutely horrible. I know I've started late the stream a few times because I started to get the bug. I keep hearing about building your own PC. They say it's just like a little bit more of an intense version than Legos. Like it's easy to build the components. And so I got this kind of idea in my head a few months ago, like, maybe I should build myself a PC. I'll build it with my son, my 7-year-old, and see if like he's interested in it or whatever, if that's like a fun project to do together. So I embarked on this journey, right? It's, it's plug and play. It's just Legos essentially. Got all the, I was initially roadblocked because GPUs or the graphics cards are super expensive right now for some supply chain issue. I don't pretend to know why. But eventually I got fed up and I was like, you know what? I'm just going to do it a couple weeks ago when it took me like an hour to boot up this laptop. So I was going to build a computer. I'm going to build a computer for streaming, right? I don't need a laptop anymore. This laptop hasn't moved in 5 years. So I don't need a laptop to like bring to, I don't know why I thought I needed a laptop. Do you guys all have laptops still?
I have a laptop mounted under my desk that I never unplug.
Do you bring it places with you?
No.
It's like there's no reason to have a laptop anymore, right? Everything's on your phone that you would need mobile, right? And if I need to do something, so I was like, all right, I'm gonna build a PC. I'll be able to play Minecraft like with my son, like him on the computer upstairs and me downstairs, and we'll like be able to work on stuff together. It'll be fun. We tried that a couple times with this laptop, and it was a horrible experience for me, just because it was so laggy and bad. So anyways, did some research, watched some YouTubes, got all the parts. They came about a week ago. Perrick got unhealthily excited because I told him that I want to get into Valheim, which is kind of considered like the adult Minecraft, right? There's a lot of like resource gathering and there's cooperative play, and Perrick was like into it, like saying like, have you built it yet? Have you built it yet? Have you built it yet? And I was like, it's gonna take a while.
I could say like it's hard. On the list of the top 3 things I'm excited for in my life, this is on it. Like I've got a baby coming. I should probably take care of one. We got Palm Springs, and then it's like Mitch's PC,
Mitch's computer.
So a couple weeks ago, my kid had, I think last Friday he had off, and so I picked him up early from his like kids place daycare thing, and we started building it. Right, we got the CPU installed, and we got the RAM in, and we got this hard drive in, and then we had to stop after about an hour, and then a couple days later we worked on a little more, got to that point where you flip the switch, absolutely nothing happened. So like flip the power switch,
plug it in,
nothing turned. It was plugged in, but
okay.
But the first problem I needed to get past was actually very funny. All my anxiety or whatever, there's a switch on the back of the power supply that I switched and then expected something to happen. Turns out you also have to press the power button on the computer. Mm-hmm. So that was a day. It was a day before I realized that. So then I pressed the power button on the computer. Everything turns on, right? Everything's plugged in right. The power supply is, the fans are blowing. Everything looks good, but nothing shows up on the screen. And it's essentially been that way for a week. I've tried doing some troubleshooting each night, watched a ton of YouTube, and I'm at the point now where, so first of all, if anybody tells you that building a PC is like putting together a Lego set, they are flat out lying to you. It is hard and finicky and high pressure because it's always, it's a lot of like, don't press this too hard, but also don't press it too soft. Like it's got to be perfect, or else you're going to bend the pins, or the contacts are going to be wrong, or whatever. And so it's hard, and I still can't get it to what's called post. So I'm kind of put out the, I'm going to kind of put out the bat signal of, any of you 4 listeners, have you ever built a computer? Can you help me troubleshoot this thing? Because I have, $1,100 or $1,200 worth of equipment sitting idle in the room next to me.
Well, the fan, it sounds like, works.
The fan is great. Like the LEDs light up like those gaming computers, right? Mm-hmm. You can see like the blue LEDs, like it looks fancy. Everything's lit up, but I can't get the screen to like display anything and start the process of installing Windows and
you
stuff.
bought a motherboard speaker so that you could hear what was going on?
Yep.
And is that hooked up properly?
Yes. So one of the steps is, I bought kind of like the budget computer, right? The budget, like here's the good budget first time build, everything's going to work together. And so my motherboard is kind of lower end, and so it doesn't have some of the diagnostic tools that the higher end ones do. So a higher end motherboard might give me an error code or make some beep. So I bought some aftermarket little speaker that you plug in for $5. You plug it in, it's supposed to, beep 7 times if the RAM is bad, beep 3 times if it's a problem with the graphics card. It doesn't do anything. It doesn't beep at all. So that either means that I've got something completely hooked up wrong, or the motherboard could be bad,
or the $5 beeper.
Yeah, and so,
or you could be bad.
I could have plugged something in totally wrong. I mean, I didn't turn the power on and thought something was wrong. So like, it's very possible that could be the case as well.
My suggestion today didn't help.
No. So then Perrick wrote me a joke suggestion, and I was like, oh man, the graphics card was a little wobbly when I put it in. Like, I wonder if that could be. And he put all these bogus acronyms in that I started Googling, and I couldn't find anything. I was like, where did you find that? Because I have been deep into YouTube, deep into troubleshoot my PC stuff, and I
feel so bad, but it felt so good to send it. It was. Can I read it?
Yeah, of course.
It said, okay, last thing, I promise. Have you tried re-articulating the GPU SPR arm slightly? A lot of people are having problems with that motherboard because the EES ports are soldered on in a non-traditional format. The aftermarket cards can get interference in the BOFA connections, and moving that arm a little bit apparently fixes it. And none of it is real. None of those acronyms doesn't mean anything. And I just kind of imagine Mitch like at the end of dinner or something, or like getting the kids ready for bed, reading it, and like getting a jazzed up, energetic feeling. Like, okay, I got an option. We got a lead.
The way.
I did get a little bit of that, and I Googled it, and no dice.
How many Googles? How many Googles till you realized it was BS?
3 probably. Well, I didn't even really realize it was 2 Googles, and then I was like, where did you find that? Send me that link, because I've been on all the message boards, all of them, and I did not run across that.
Did you push the on button on the monitor?
Yes. So I'm at the point.
You tried power cycling.
Oh my god. I'm at the point.
Have you tried staying in the shadows, Mitch?
I'm at the point in troubleshooting where they're saying, okay, you've done everything. Now you need to start testing each component. So take your graphics card out and put in a graphics card that you know works. So it's like, oh, okay, I'll go pay $500 for another graphics card and figure out that I know that one works, right? Or plug in a motherboard that you know works. It's like, all right, I'll go spend $150 and plug in another motherboard.
Have you called the Geek Squad?
No, I did start looking at, there's a Micro Center near me, and I looked at PC repair, and I think that's probably going to be my next step, is like take it in and be like, hey, look, I tried to do this. I'm over it. I'm 100% over it. I should have bought a pre-made desktop. You know what was really demoralizing? It was at one point my son said, I wish Peric was here.
No, he didn't.
Swear to God, he said that.
I've never built a PC.
He still is very impressed by that sound effects button machine that you made me, that I showed him, and so he thinks you're like God's gift to that. And I told you this in text, like I think you would really enjoy building a computer, and I think it's right up your alley.
So
you would be you're absolutely made for this. I am not. I tried it. I'm over it. I need this. I'm going to bring all the components into Geek Squad. Hopefully they can tell me, oh, yep, your motherboard's bad. You got a crap motherboard. I'm like, all right, I'll return it. You put in whatever your bargain brand motherboard is, make it work. Give me the nicely enclosed working computer. I will take that back home. So I think that's where I'm at on building a computer. Don't let anyone tell you it's easy. Help if you've got any tips.
I think you just got to take it all apart and put it back together again.
I did that.
Do it again.
Again?
Yes. It's something stupid that's happening. It's not, you bought all brand new parts. The fact that you're thinking about taking your GPU apart, like, no. There's no way you're going to be better at assembling that GPU than the factory that assembled it. There's just no way. That's not going to be it. It's going to be something.
I never said I was going to take the GPU apart, the graphics card apart. I said I
thought you said that's what they said to do, but you didn't want to do the new thermal paste.
No, they want to. Oh yeah. The thermal paste thing. Yeah. That's
you're not going to be.
That's the CPU. Oh. That's the brain. That's like the brain of the computer. And there's some like special things. And I did try that, taking that out and reinstalling it today. And didn't do anything.
What do you call the powerhouse of the computer?
Power supply, PSU.
The
power supply unit.
It's the.
What does GPU stand for?
Graphics processing unit. I think so. Yeah, that's the
computer processing unit. What's CPU?
I think so. Computing processor unit, CPU. That's just like a little
tiny
little square.
Central.
Yeah, you get drowned out there when somebody else is talking, so you get ducked.
Did you include the ribosome in your computer? It's really important. I've heard.
Either that or the mitochondria. Gotta get a good mitochondria.
I'll come over this weekend.
All right.
No, I won't, because I don't want to get sick.
Yeah, that's crossing the wires too soon.
True.
Bring it to California. Pack it.
Yes. We'll get it working.
Guys, we got Sig Sur. We got to move.
Oh, Sig Sur, let's do it.
We have a new format, right? It was a little cloudy in my head, but I redid our layout a little bit, just in a subtle way. But Gio, you're now in the mix, right?
Yeah, Peric has to read.
So yeah, Peric has to read, assuming you have significant surrender cards, Peric.
So how do you update?
Oh,
who's Puff the Magic Dragon 13? Is that somebody related to
Chad's brother?
Yeah, for sure. It's one of my brothers. I don't remember which one.
So how do you update the BIOS on the motherboard if you can't get to a screen? You can't get to a screen to configure anything.
Minix said.
I'll wait patiently. I'll wait offline for the answer.
Minix said to reset the BIOS.
First time, long time.
And you're not even getting. I
did reset the BIOS. I took that little battery out. It's called the CMOS. You take this battery out.
Did you have to short it with a screwdriver?
No, no, because it's not a power thing. Like everything, the power is going to it.
But to reset the CMOS, I think.
Yeah, no, you take the battery out, this little tiny button battery out for 10 minutes. Done that. So, sorry, Sig Sur. Sorry, I saw somebody. I might reach out to Puff the Magic Dragon 13.
Like if I were you right now, I'd be taking a sick day tomorrow.
Right.
That's what you need. You need time.
Right.
By the way,
that's the other thing is, so I have this locked in our guest bedroom because I have 3 very small kids, and these are like expensive computer parts, and so we have these little you can pick locks, right? There's these little tools that let you pick household locks, and so they stay at the top of the molding. One of my kids knows it, the one that I built the computer with, and like he won't screw around with it. But we had friends over that had their own kids, and we were upstairs. All 5 kids were downstairs, and I hear jumping, and I would go down there, and they had broken in. They had picked the lock, gone in, past my computer, which was like plugged in. Like I don't know how they didn't trip over it. And we're jumping on the bed that was behind the computer. I was like, absolutely not. How did this happen? Anyway, I'm done. Rant over.
Seems like maybe they tripped over a cord. Check the BOFA connector.
I'll check the BOFA.
All right, you guys ready for this? We got to get anybody in the Discord.
Yeah, we need a listener. We know there's at least one listener.
If you join the lounge, we'll give you.
Do people need the Discord? I never send out an invite to the Discord.
You should do that.
Let me invite. Oh, sorry, this is not streamer friendly right now. This is like, edit invite link, expire after. We're gonna go never, guys, with no limit.
No limit, baby.
Now, what's the new rule where the person that gets the most points has to read the questions the next time? Right?
The person who gets the last
question right.
The last question. So that's Perrick,
last
right?
correct question. Yeah.
So Perrick is the reader?
Yep. Yeah, and I got my true significant surrender box ready.
Awesome.
And yeah, that was the other rule, is if it's your time to read and you don't have any cards, you can't score any points until you get cards.
I looked these up.
That was a little
it's like
fuzzy
expensive to get Trivial Pursuit.
Alfredo wants to play.
All right.
I'm bringing you into the meeting room. Alf, are you there?
I think so. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Did you say I stink so?
I think so.
Oh.
This is Damaran, same person.
Damaran.
Welcome.
So good. Hold on, we gotta disable non-video participants. There we go. Okay.
I'm so excited to play. So excited.
Gio's
Do we know what era this Trivial Pursuit is from?
Good question.
Significant surrender is there. It's timeless. Significant surrender.
Yeah, sorry, definitely not Trivial Pursuit. Significant surrender.
No, this is Genus edition, the orig.
Yeah. So this is like 90s or like 80s maybe?
Before that.
Oh boy.
It's the old one. This is the hard one. This is the big boys.
We're talking like Houston Oilers on the sports questions. Right?
Football?
Is that a good reference? I think so.
Yes.
Now they're the Tennessee Titans or something. They were the Houston Texans? Were they Tennessee?
Houston Texans.
I think they went to Tennessee Titans from the Oilers.
Yes.
I think that's right.
Yeah. Ask us some questions.
All right. Question 1. What's the U.S.'s biggest trading partner?
Mitch.
Gio.
Mitch.
China.
Wrong. Gio.
Canada.
That is correct.
Seriously.
All right. If nobody gets any right from here on out,
1972.
Gio has to read next week.
That's true.
Quick reminder.
I need to make sure Gio's scoring works. This is the first time Gio's gotten a. There it goes. Right? Yeah, we're good.
1 for 1. Never missed one ever.
Question 2. What movie has the tiny country of Grand Fenwick declaring war on the U.S.?
Damaran?
Alfredo?
Wagging's dog?
Incorrect.
Can we hear the question again, please?
What movie has the tiny country of Grand Fenwick declaring war on the U.S.? 3, 2.
Chad.
Coming
to America.
Wrong. 3.
Gio.
2. Gio.
Grumpy old men?
3, 2, 1. The mouse that roared. Question 3.
Timeless classic.
Yeah.
One of my favorites.
What English explorer discovered and named Virginia?
Geo.
Geo. Sorry, I'm so used to buzzing in.
Columbus?
Incorrect.
Chad.
Mitch.
Chad.
Cook.
Incorrect. Mitch.
John Virgin.
Incorrect. I see what you did there, though.
It's probably like a Queen Virginia.
3,
Got
2. Okay.
Amerigo Vespucci.
Raleigh. Sir
Walter
Walter
Raleigh.
Raleigh. Ah, there you go.
Who was the editor of the Daily Planet?
Mitch.
Mitch.
Lois Lane.
Incorrect.
Dameron?
Yeah.
Clark Kent?
Nope. He was actually Superman, little known fact.
What?
Yeah.
Definitely what I would
Same
have
guy.
guessed.
Well,
Same
no one
guy.
recognized
You ever
him
seen him in the
because he
same
was
room
wearing
at the same
glasses.
time? Yeah.
What are you looking at,
Chad.
Chad?
I'm trying to think really hard.
He's looking at Google or Wikipedia?
No,
3.
I'm not. I said Chad, right? Am I up?
Yeah.
Something Jameson.
No.
I don't know.
J. John
I don't have a
Jameson?
guess. I don't have a guess.
Perry White is the answer. Nobody got it.
No.
Okay. What drug was named for Morpheus? The
Chad.
Greek-
Mitch.
Chad.
Morphine.
Correct.
Got one.
Now you're on the button, Chad.
Probably probably got the last one potentially.
Which means I've got to
Is there one
spend
more?
some money.
Is that it?
Well,
Should we one more?
Chad's got a decision to make here. If it's a gettable question, hypothetically, does he get it? Or does he?
I think we all know Chad can't pass up gettable questions.
Last question. What's the most widely played card game in the world?
Geo. Poker.
Wrong.
Mitch. Go.
Wrong.
Chad. Bridge.
Wrong.
How about Damred? How about like solitaire?
Solitaire is the correct answer.
Let's
No.
Awesome.
What a good guess.
I don't know about that.
Awesome.
Now we're in a real conundrum.
Uh-huh. I love it.
It's Chad still, right?
No.
Chad's got to read next time.
Still for sure.
Yeah, it's definitely Chad.
Listeners can't read to us.
Yeah, listeners gonna play every time.
No. Alfred Joe has to come back. We'll let you know when it is. You got to read to us. That's how it goes. Them's the rules.
All right,
You have
so
to buy a $50 Trivia Pursuit game.
You're the real winner.
as
right.
long as Minnick reminds you to remind everyone when it's happening.
Right.
Yeah, that's how it
Good
goes. Yeah.
point.
You know the drill.
Yeah, Chad,
we're
you better get those cards, bro.
Yeah.
Or else what happens? I'm not allowed to score any points on the day that
you
I would have
can't-
been
yeah.
reading anyways?
You also can't play again until you bring cards to the game.
Well,
You're perma-banned.
so I just get to go to bed earlier? I
I
feel
don't
like
even
we're
understand.
penalty.
We're gonna make you stay up, and you can try to buzz in, but every time we're gonna tell you that your answers don't matter.
Mitch, are you watching chat?
Yes, I am. I'm
You like
quite.
that LFG call?
I'm kind of excited about Puff the Magic Dragon's line of research. But I also am at that point now in the troubleshooting where it's like, replace it with something works. Yeah. Right? And so I got to find... Well, yeah. I guess the first thing I can do is actually Google the compatibility. I'm really hoping that it's not a compatibility thing because this site told me exactly what to buy.
So, all right. Dan Moran, thanks for playing.
Yeah, man.
Thanks, guys.
Solitaire.
Yeah, thanks, Jim.
Good answer.
No, I was talking about Minik saying LFG.
I know how much you like LFG. I thought you were talking about the BIOS combo.
I like the LFG triggering.
I should have never said that I didn't like people saying, let's fucking go.
Just wait till we're on the golf course. Just wait.
I mean, it's not bad on a golf course to yell that. You don't yell it.
It is.
You don't yell it.
I hate it in every medium. I hate it in every medium.
Why?
I'm gonna say it like casually. Like making like a gimme punch, like LFG.
I think it's more offensive if you say LFG.
Fine.
See, I don't know. We're on opposite sides of this. I think the LFG is annoying.
Mm-hmm. What is it, Mitch? I don't understand why it's so... I don't know.
Triggering.
Is it problems with your computer?
Irritable.
It's such a ubiquitous, fatty thing to say.
Not very nice.
It's fad DDY. Like it's a fad, and I don't know. I just don't like it. I can't tell you why it bugs me. It just bugs me.
You know what? You don't have to tell us why you don't like it.
I just asked. You don't have to. I was just curious.
Chad has to defend his every thought about NFTs, but I'll let you slide on the LFGs.
Here we go.
His has to be a meticulously defined argument about how he exists in the world around NFTs, but you're fine with LFG. You do you.
All right. I'm out of here.
Challenge? We got a challenge. We got to talk about our challenge.
Gosh. Yeah.
Okay. Oh, let me switch scenes here. Sorry.
Wait.
So what's the score? What did that all end at? Gio's got one. Chad's got one. Mitch has got 0, and the listeners have 1. There were 3 correct answers that round, eh?
And Peric, you've got 2.
2.
Nice. Those genus cards are hard. Those are really tough.
Yeah, I mean, you'd have to be a freaking genius to get them.
So the challenge, it's like a little. Wait, we get to talk about challenge?
Daddy?
I was playing the "Who's Your Daddy" sound effect.
The challenge is like slightly undecided, but we know that it's going to involve live streaming when we're together. Because this, like, A, this doesn't happen very often that we all get together, and B, it really doesn't happen very often when we're in a pandemic. But we are going to be together next week, and we'll be streaming the challenge. Now, that puts listeners in a little bit of a predicament of not being able to, like, plan ahead for this. So you can either take a break, which is really a nice thing to do for if you do a lot of challenges, or you can wait until the challenge hits live, and you're just going to be under a little bit of a time crunch to get it done.
I would say send us a good GIF in challenge participation, and you'll get your point.
Ooh,
right.
Like, be in the Discord. Get in the Discord, because we're trying to
get those XP points, just like the NFT Discords.
In one of these times, since I made Kojak admin, there have been a lot of changes in the Discord. It's a completely different type of community now that he's in charge.
You made him admin?
Yeah, I did, and he didn't do anything. So
love it.
Fair.
Apparently, Kojak, you're more of a suck up to the admins kind of guy. I'm looking for him in chat. I don't even know if he's watching. He did boost it. Oh, he boosted it. He did, which is like $5. So the boost
probably
is
sold an NFT.
All that NFT cash, baby.
I completely withdraw my
criticism
ribbing joke there. Yeah, that was cool. Although a single boost in Discord literally does nothing.
Really?
You need like so we have one boost. So if we get to So we have 1 boost, no level. If we get, I don't know, 4 boosts, let's say, something ridiculous that we'll never get, then our Discord will have better audio quality. And then eventually we can stream to Discord at full 1080p once you have 6 boosts or whatever. But that's like
6 boosts at once.
Yeah.
Or is it like over
and
time?
It's a monthly. It's like $5 a month to boost a server, and so you really have to have people like invested literally in your server to get it boosted.
That's so weird.
And it,
I think I can get a
as
free
you boost it, you get more
turkey doodle if I boost the turkey doodle Discord.
You guys should spend that money on NFTs instead of boosting Twitch.
Probably true. Probably true.
And by the way, boosting a server gives you something for free. That should be a red flag because it costs you money to boost a server, so it's not free. That's okay.
Beta's already on top of it. He's on his gift game. What do we get? What do we get? Nice. You get an NFT. You get an NFT.
Why isn't it showing? Oh boy.
Worthless.
Did I do the wrong Discord? What's happening with the stream right now?
It went to challenge participation.
Oh, I went to challenge participation in the app. Whoopsie. One moment.
I used that Oprah GIF in the Turkey Doodles chat when Kojak won the capped limit of free, and then he started giving away because he kept winning them. But he was capped at like 6 free Turkey Doodles, and so he started giving them away. I was trying to like amp him up in his rise to the semi-mod that he is on the Turkey Doodles Discord.
Yeah, that's turkeydoodles.gif right there. Except there should be an asterisk after you get an NFT because they don't actually give them to you yet.
Right.
I don't know.
A future NFT.
What's the proposed timeline on the actual minting of these GIFs?
It doesn't matter because they have awesome
Not
devs,
GIFs,
so
NFTs.
It happens immediately as soon as it.
We don't know.
There's no.
You can go mint one now. You can go buy one and mint one.
I'm
now.
probably not using the right terminology. When do you guys actually get the things that were promised to you?
Mitch has some.
There's 10,000 procedurally generated turkeys. 500 of them have been minted, so their URLs have been put on the blockchain for free. The community, the OG community that me, Minnick, Kojak are all a part of. So we all got 5 for free. Plus, we had to pay for the gas. So we had to pay the transaction fee to essentially put them on the blockchain. So now it's in this phase that they're calling the public sale. So now people have to pay like $60 plus whatever gas to put them on the blockchain. So you could go buy one now for $140.
And how many people have purchased one?
Apparently 0.
No one's gotten one yet. But it's only been live for like 2 days.
And if this was like an IPO, that would be bad, right?
Oh man, Minnick, you are so right. This is real content. This isn't some NFT speculative investment. You could give people real content.
20 subs would sustain this community for years.
Yeah.
Can we mint this episode as an NFT?
Only if we
have
good devs.
There is probably a way to do that, but we would need to find somewhere to host this.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, we already have that.
Twitch could
like
NFT this
called YouTube.
So if this was like on YouTube, right, and we got that URL, we could NFT that URL.
I don't think YouTube. I think YouTube could NFT it. I don't think we could.
Why not?
I think we could.
A URL.
I think we could.
They're hosting
but it's up to YouTube. What is at that URL, right?
Yeah.
YouTube.
Yeah, but we don't need to concern ourselves with that. We don't need to concern ourselves with what's actually at the URL. We just need to sell the URL and tell them what was there last time we checked.
Right.
Now you're into it, Chad. Now you've fully converted to the dark side. Now you're selling NFTs. You're the creator, and oh boy. Yeah.
That is something.
Oh, we circled back, Groovin.
I'll tell you what. You know what's interesting is that Minnick has sold more NFTs than this whole Turkey Doodle community has.
Because Mitch
is
bought
it one to you?
Because I bought that one. Yeah.
Disco Penguin.
On the public market, I bought Disco Penguin, and so he's actually his project is doing better than Turkey Doodles right now.
There's
Let's
something
not
intriguing
forget
to me about buying this episode as an NFT, in which I argue that NFTs are stupid and worthless and a con, just because of the whole meta nature.
That would
of the
be
whole
pretty cool.
thing.
Yeah, I like that.
Minnick's first NFT that he bought is a Twitch emote. I should have done Disco Penguin in hindsight. I'll do that. But, oh, dang, I don't own it. There's no way I could ever upload an image of it.
Yep.
Because I'm not the owner.
It best not be holographic purple, because that's mine.
Send me yours. Do you have a transparent background version of it?
No. I don't think so.
Send me the I'll make a transparent version of it. Okay. It'll be fine. We should get that one in here instead of this. We'll swap this.
I am going to bed.
All right.
Oh.
I'm exhausted.
See if there's anything we could raid that's like talking about NFTs, or like building NFTs.
Oh, Gio is just.
Yeah, he was. Sounds like he's got a real job.
Go to our full screen here, just since he screwed up our layout.
He was having some cramps, I think.
Oh, insensitive. NFT.
Female listeners are going to be up in arms.
No, they understand. They get it.
I see.
So that makes it okay.
Let's raid. I got a good buddy who's playing Halo right now. Let's just watch a little Halo.
All right.
You guys good with that?
Sure. Let's shill for Peric's buddy.
Just go in there and just. The only problem is he's playing on Xbox. I don't know if he can see chats. Let's just blow up his chat with NFT emotes anyway.
Groovin'.
What?
Okay, I left the stream when you guys were wrapping up on NFTs and just rejoined. You're still here. You guys are obsessed. OMG.
So that means you didn't hear my just absolute deep razz about you not being a good admin of our Discord. You missed all that, Groovin'.
Yeah, I think he did.
But then Minnick came to your defense and said you boosted our server. So
it's all
took
good.
it all back. Anyway, okay, we're going to raid. That. Dude, he has 7 viewers right now?
Soon to be 12. Who beat us? This is not Higgs, is it?
No, this is another guy in our Halo league. We have a dad league. A bunch of us who play Halo together. And I don't know what he's streaming right now. It's got to be either Halo or we'll see. I don't know. Blow it up. Thanks, everybody.
See ya.
10 seconds. Sorry. 7 viewers. Thanks for joining in. Hit that join button. It's so important. Right now.
Do the thing. Then the other thing. Catch you next time.
Cool. Later.